So it's a quiet Friday, at least as of now. Let's see if it's going to pick up in the second half, which has been the trend right now. It's time to get to a market voice. Deepak Jasani, head of retail research at HDFC Securities, is now with us for some thoughts. Deepak, good morning to you. Thanks for joining in. So it's been a phenomenal ride for this market. No one's been complaining. Interest is back. Excitement is back. But the question is really on sustainability. Do you see the Nifty actually taking out all-time highs?
Good morning. Going by the current momentum and the fact that the central banks in the developed economies are now inching towards ending the monetary tightening and going towards a low interest rate regime, I think foreign flows can continue to come in. There is this big event of elections ahead of us. So there are a lot of short-term FPIs who want to encash on the volatility in this 2 or 3 month period. Having said that, we have run up quite a bit so far, so a small correction is due. We think that the markets in India as well as in US probably could witness some sort of a buying climax in a few weeks from now after a small correction in the near term.
Deepak, hi, welcome to the show. What is your sense in maybe a couple of these aviation stocks, for example, the SpiceJets and the Interglobes, based on the fact that there is a capacity constraint, there could be consolidation which could probably take place in the industry. Would you be a buyer in any of these?
Yeah, I think the two listed players which are left out could benefit in the near term. That is the hope and expectation. So in that sentimental run, one can trade on those stocks, but whether in terms of financials they will make bumper profits, I am not so sure at this point of time. So for investment, I think one can wait. For trading, yeah, there is an opportunity, part of which is already exhausted.
Deepak, I was just looking at a stock like NTPC. I mean, it's today's big winner, 3% up. And in this rally, even a stock like NTPC, a cyclical name, has done very well. We're talking about 10-12% move in the month of March alone. What is your view on cyclicals? Would you look at investing in this side of the market at all?
Yeah, so NTPC belongs to the PSU space. Typically, if we go back over the last 2 or 3 elections, we have studied and we find that PSU stocks do very well between the announcement of elections and the results. So that is one reason why PSU as a pack has been doing well. Secondly, for NTPC, the CERC decision of maintaining the 15.5% ROCE, that has cleared a lot of doubts or uncertainties for the stock, and that is why that stock has been doing well. So basically, one will have to be a little selective. Cyclicals across the board may not do well, but yeah, among the PSU packs, oil and gas, power, coal, etc., could continue to perform till the buying climax.
Deepak, what is your opinion on banks now? We had an exclusive story just a couple of minutes back that Bank of Baroda could get around 5,000 crores from the government. We've seen Axis, which has got a new management in place. Yes Bank, which has seen the kind of changes that it has in the past year. What is your sense in terms of whether you would be a buyer in maybe a mix of these banks, corporate PSU as well as private? And what would your pecking order be?
Yeah, whenever the markets do well, historically we have seen banks and auto are the two sectors which tend to do well. Currently, auto has been underperforming due to a high base and a slowdown in the sales kind of a scenario due to regulatory and other actions which are pending. Banks, however, we are comfortable with banks. Typically, the credit growth has been quite good at about 14% lately. The NPA resolutions are also happening nicely. Slippages have come down. Of course, you could have some issues about valuation of some banks at the current levels, but I think when the tide is running up, I think the high value as well as low value stocks can continue to do well. PSU again, PSU banks, there would be expectation of a lot of policy changes which will help them post the elections when the new government comes in. So that is one more reason for PSU banks to do well. So I think banks as a space, I think we continue to like. till the buying climax comes to an end.
Okay, by the way, the mid-cap market is definitely showing signs of excitement. You have more names popping up on the screen. Check out HT Media, 10% move on the stock now. Big buying in the last couple of minutes of trade. That's the mid-cap index. HT Media is a stock that's looking quite excited as we speak. Anyhow, Deepak, I'm going to go back to that point you made on autos. Now, the reasons why the stocks have been beaten down are very well known. The question is this an opportunity? Do you get in and buy now? Or do you think this is a prolonged slowdown, so just stay away?
So that is one thing which nobody is sure whether this is a short blip or whether this will continue for a longer than a few quarters. But I think lump sum investment in auto can be ruled out for the time being. You will have to do a staggered or a SIP kind of a buying if you allow the space. And within this staggered period, you will have to keep monitoring the trends in the individual companies where you have invested. So I think the space is not out of the woods. The sector is not currently sort of turned the tide. So if at all you love the sector, then you could start doing some SIP or in staggered buying in a few stocks which you shortlist.
Okay, well, Deepak, just before we let you go, wanted your quick thoughts on L&T and Mindtree and the transaction. Would you be a buyer? Are you happy with the buy at all, and or would you stay away from a company such as L&T now?
I think from the Mindtree's perspective, the promoters or the owners will have to act a little more maturely. That is what we feel, and ultimately, sooner or later, they will have to sort of come to some sort of agreement with L&T. From the L&T's perspective, I think this transaction, if the whole thing goes through, then it will sort of impact the return ratios for some time. But I think over the medium term, this will sort of help it to diversify its revenue and profit streams.
Okay, well, that's what they're saying. That's their stated objective, to have more of the business come in from the services side. That's L&T's objective and rationale for going ahead with this transaction. Thank you, Deepak, very much for joining in.